1. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. As You Like It, Act 2. Scene 7. Stop scrolling, because what you're about to read might change the way you walk through life. Shakespeare opens the curtain on existence itself. This line isn't poetic fluff, it's existential truth. It challenges us to confront the idea that we are not the authors of reality, but characters playing roles written by time, society, or destiny. Are you playing the role you truly believe in, or just performing to survive? When you realize life is a stage, every action becomes intentional. Every scene matters. Every gesture, every silence becomes a line in your personal script. Shakespeare isn't telling us to act. He's telling us to awaken, to play our role consciously with purpose, and to know when to step off stage. 2. This, above all, to thine own self be true. Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 3. Pause, because this line might be the most important advice you'll ever hear, a line that reads like an ancient code of honor. Spoken by Polonius to his son Laertes, it echoes louder today than ever before. In a world obsessed with image conformity and curated perfection, Shakespeare reminds us that the foundation of peace is integrity. Being true to yourself isn't self-indulgence. It's survival of the soul, and it's not always easy. Being true to yourself might mean standing alone. It might mean facing criticism. But Shakespeare teaches us betrayal of others is temporary. Betrayal of self is eternal. 3. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. The Tempest, Act. Scene. Read this twice, because this isn't poetry, it's perspective. This is metaphysical Shakespeare, the bard, as philosopher. Life, he says, is not as solid as we pretend. We are made of impermanence. We are more dream than stone. So why cling so tightly to things we cannot hold? This quote humbles the ego and elevates the soul. When we realize life is fleeting, a breath, a moment, a blink, we begin to treat every second with sacred attention. We begin to forgive more, love deeper, and chase less, because we realize the dream ends, and that's what makes it beautiful. 4. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Hamlet, Act 2, Scene 2. This sentence will bend your mind, and that's exactly what it's meant to do. Here, Shakespeare tears the veil off our judgments. Good and bad are not laws of nature, they are reflections of our perception. What we call evil might be circumstance. What we call failure might be preparation. If you change your thoughts, you change the entire meaning of your story. Every so-called setback is an invitation to reframe. When we free ourselves from binary thinking, we access deeper awareness. Shakespeare teaches us that the world is not happening to us. It's happening through the lens we choose to wear. 5. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Julius Caesar, Act 2, Scene 2. Read this before your next big decision. It might save your courage. Every time we let fear stop us, a part of us dies. Shakespeare exposes the high cost of avoidance. Real death is inevitable, but emotional death, spiritual decay, that is optional. Courage isn't just a virtue. It's a way to stay alive while you're still breathing. Imagine what you'd do if fear weren't in charge. What if hesitation was replaced with clarity? Shakespeare's message is clear: don't live half dead. Don't wait for safety to choose aliveness. 6. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 2. This one stings, and that's why you need it. Blaming fate is easy. Shakespeare calls it out. This line urges us to own our choices, our fears, our failures. You are not a victim of the stars. You are a creator, flawed, frightened, but free. Accountability is liberation. Astrology, destiny, fortune, these are comforting myths. But Shakespeare offers a harder path: self-responsibility. This line invites us to stop waiting, stop wishing, and start creating. Because change doesn't come from the heavens, it comes from within. 7. Hell is empty, and all the devils are here. The Tempest, Act 1, Scene 2. Read this, and you'll never look at the world the same again. Sharp, unforgiving, terrifyingly accurate. Shakespeare warns us that evil isn't lurking in myth. It lives in action, in systems, in silence. Don't look for monsters under the bed. Look in power, in greed, in complicity. This quote calls for moral clarity and bold resistance. It's not just a line, it's a wake-up call. If we pretend evil is elsewhere, we excuse ourselves. But Shakespeare points the finger. Evil exists where good men stay quiet. 8. Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 1, Scene 1. If you've ever loved blindly, this line is your mirror. This isn't romance, it's revelation. Shakespeare uncovers the psychology of love. We don't fall in love with people, we fall in love with the idea of them. The mind invents, the heart obeys. Recognizing this can save you from illusion or help you build love with eyes wide open. Real love begins where fantasy ends. Shakespeare doesn't dismiss love. He elevates it by grounding it in truth. To love clearly, we must first see clearly. 9. The better part of valor is discretion. Henry IV, Part 1, Act 5, Scene 4. Real bravery starts with this truth. Courage is not recklessness. Shakespeare separates real bravery from foolish pride. Knowing when to act is as heroic as acting itself. There is strength in restraint. Sometimes not fighting is the highest form of power. This line teaches wisdom over impulse. Think of every argument you didn't need to win, every insult you walked away from, every war avoided. Shakespeare is telling us real warriors choose battles, they don't chase them. 10. Expectation is the root of all heartache. Often attributed, though not found verbatim in a known play. You need to hear this, especially if you're waiting for life to match your plans. Though disputed in origin, the essence remains Shakespearean. We suffer not because reality is cruel, but because our expectations demand it be otherwise. Letting go of the outcome, accepting what comes, is not defeat. It is emotional freedom. Shakespeare teaches us to hold lightly, to love without controlling, to hope without demanding. The more we grip, the more we hurt. Peace begins with releasing the script we wrote in our heads. Conclusion: Shakespeare didn't just write plays, he wrote blueprints for living. Stop. Reflect. Because this isn't just literature, it's a survival guide for the soul. Every line above is more than poetry. It's reflection, it's warning, it's instruction. Shakespeare reached into the human condition and painted it in timeless ink. 4 centuries later, we still find ourselves inside his verses, broken, searching, rising again. So don't just read him. Listen. Let the words sink past your brain and into your bones. Because in every line of Shakespeare, there's a mirror waiting. And maybe, just maybe, it will change how you live your life.